Hey guys, this is OracleDaphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back to do the September monthly tarot horoscope for everyone, all signs. I'm back using my Shadowscapes deck as well as some charms I've laid out here. I've lately really enjoying laying out the charms just to see additional messages, and it kind of confirms what I see in the cards also. So I'm happy to be back doing this reading. I have really branched out doing different styles of readings. You're going to want to check out my other channel, The Whale Called Moon, for other content. But I have been doing tea readings over here on this channel as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to try to continue doing those, but I have been really enjoying the tea readings, so I may. Before I jump in, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who has been really kind and donated. It looks like YouTube updated how many videos I have on this channel, and there's 1,600 videos on this channel. So there's a lot of content, and I've done a lot of work, and I don't have monetization on my channel yet back. So all donations are really appreciated. Just special thank you to everybody who has already donated, and it means a lot to me. The support means a lot to me, and it helps so much. And so I'm just going to let a spread, see what I get. I'm going to jump in and just kind of go from there. I have a feeling September is kind of going to be like a wild ride. But I also did another video to see what was going to come through the eclipses in September. So you're going to want to check that one also out. You might resonate with that as well. I feel like the energy of conflict, that was one of the things that was coming through right away. The energy of conflict feels like it's sort of underlying. It's like an underlying energy, like a hum, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get into arguments with everybody in your life during this period of time. It's only 1 month. When we get to Libra season, everything usually calms down. I definitely feel that as we get farther into September, it's going to ease up the farther we go and more into Libra season. That's my overall vibe. I feel like, it's going to be kind of rough between now and, I want to say, the 22nd or 23rd of September. And my guides were showing me the 22nd. I don't know which exactly the date is that the sun goes into the sign of Libra, but it makes sense actually because the solar eclipse is happening on the 21st of September. So it's right after that. I feel like things are going to calm down. I don't necessarily know where this conflict is coming from. It could be just an underlying energy of stress in your life. We have the Two of Swords as a foundation, and that's disagreements. That's, lack of harmony. And we also have in the position of emotions, the Eight of Swords, which is feeling stuck and feeling, like there's a black cloud. And for some of you might, during this period of time, have maybe a sense of I don't even know, maybe impending doom. A lot of people, when they experience an eclipse, can have a wider range of emotions. So for some of you, you might experience a wider range of emotions. You might feel one day a sense of impending doom, and then another day you might be oh wow, something positive happened. I don't know, maybe you got some cash from someplace, or you picked up a check, or something came through one of those eclipses that's positive. We have the Six of Swords, feeling, comfortable and cozy and of good fall vibe. And then we have this kind of more looming bad. I actually don't feel it's as bad as maybe you're thinking, or as bad as it could be. I feel like it's sort of modified by some of these other really positive cards. I feel like with the Strength card, that's building a bridge, having a good support system, having good friends, maybe spending time hanging out with friends. The Six of Swords is working on your sleep cycle or making sure that you're getting enough sleep. This is also freedom from worry. So for some of you, it's like, at one moment you might be really stressed out. Like, your stress levels might be quite high, with the Two of Swords and being in a place of conflict, and not feeling like, okay, you're really moving forward. You might be frustrated. My guides are showing me this interesting clip from this video that I watched. And I think it was this horse that got stuck in the mud, in this muck and mire. And to me, that's the Eight of Swords, stuck in this muck and mire. But they rescued the horse. They went in with a digger and dug like the horse out of the mud. And I don't know what the horse's name was, but it just is showing up here. So some of you, there's going to be a way out of the muck and mire. And I don't necessarily feel like you're going to feel stuck forever. And so here we go. We have the Page of Swords modifying. And again, it's a lifting up. And it's so interesting. I just was talking about how my guides were showing me that clip from the horse and how the horse was lifted up out of the muck and mire. And we have the Page of Swords, which is literally the card about being lifted up. You can see she's being lifted up here. So I feel like the energies are going to lighten up. I feel like you're going to feel more lifted. Or just more like, okay, having a sense of forward momentum, or having a sense of direction for some of you. Some of you might be kind of all over the place too. Like we have the Five of Wands card, which is he or she's running this way. We have the Knight of Swords, this person's running that way. It feels very adrenaline. It feels very adrenaline. Like you might be running around like a chicken with your head cut off in the month of September, trying to do it all. And for some of you, you might have pressure. Like you've got someone looming that says, okay, you have to do this by a certain date. Or like there has to be something that's tangible that happens, or like something has to come through. We have this, there's like this little cat behind this lion. And to me, that's the cat's holding this bell. And it's like, okay, it's like a deadline. It's like a boss. It's like, hey, you've got to do this by a certain time. And the expectation is that this amount gets done. It feels kind of pressury, it's not necessarily like, do or die, but it feels kind of pressured. And, with the September Virgo energies, I wouldn't be surprised if you had more on your plate during this period of time than you will have in Libra season. I feel like in Libra season, things really smooth out. It's so interesting because I just recorded some shorts, and I was getting this sort of similar information from one or two of the shorts that things will smooth out in time. And this energy of conflict, or I want to say maybe abrasiveness or harshness, is going to smooth out. I say that and I pull the Temperance card. I say that and I pull the Devil card. I say that and we have the Four of Pentacles. Some of you, some of you really need to work on your root chakra. You need to really work on rooting down the things that you're wanting. And for some of you, it's not possible. And for others, you need to kind of have a game plan of like what you're going to do this September and really focus on the root, because that's the problem with this spread is it's going to take work. It's going to take work and determination to root down the things that you're going to need. So like financially, you're going to need to, lock in a job or lock in funding from somewhere. You're going to need to overcome this energy of the devil, which the energy of the devil says you can't do it. Or you can't get it done, or that's never been done, or it's a no for now, or it's an energy of judgment, or it's an energy of lack of confidence, or it's an energy of some kind of addictive issue, or it's an energy of trying to get out of something, or overcome something. And the transformation element of the death card, which, if it's showing up in this spread as the root, then your life will transform in September. There's going to be a massive transformation. There's going to be things in your life that fall through, or things in your life that don't happen, or things in your life that absolutely make you a different person. This is deciding, this is the Two of Swords is saying, I don't want this relationship, or I don't like this person, or I don't like what's going on here. I don't like this lack of communication. I don't like, whatever this energy is, or I don't like a partner anymore. I want a divorce, or I don't like, this energy. And it's saying no. It's saying no, and it's very, in some way, confrontational by not really getting to the heart of the matter, because there's no communication, or you can't get to the heart of the matter because there's some issue, and it's frustrating. And I think that with this energy, it's like fuel. Like, this to me is like rocket fuel. Like, you're gonna transform your life in September in some way because of all this fuel, because you're like, okay, I don't want XYZ. I want this, and I want this, and I want, the sleep, and I want rest, and I want peace, and I want, with the Queen of Cups here, she's trusting deeply that all of her needs are going to be met. And I say she, but you could be masculine and watching. And she's walking on the backs of turtles. And that's the earth rising up to meet her. That's things coming through unexpectedly. That's money coming through unexpectedly. That's things going better than expected. That's smooth, like coming out of a time of transition and transformation. And I feel like some of you really are going to be surprised by this month of September. Like, it feels like there's a lot of surprises that will come. And it's not because necessarily of other people, although there's a lot of people showing up here. You might have more interaction with people than normal. You might meet new people. It's really interesting. Just today, I was walking in the woods, and I met this beautiful woman who had this healing dog. Okay. The dog, literally, I could feel the healing energy coming off the dog onto my leg. It was like, wow, beautiful interaction, beautiful conversation. There must be some beautiful things that show up for you during this period of time that you're not expecting. Beautiful interactions, beautiful connections. Maybe it's, for some of you, like, it could be a date that goes really well, or it could be meeting someone new, or it could be just not even like, I don't even feel like there's a lot of romance in this spread. It just feels like the people might be very special that you meet during this period of time, and or the conversations that you have you'll remember, or there's a lot of beautiful energies that are showing up here that I think some of you might not be expecting. I'm seeing this swan here in this card, and there's a swan here as well. And I feel like the swans represent divine counterparts, but I also like partners and partnerships. But I also feel like the swan here is a bird that's looking out for your best interests, that's looking out for your sense of direction and your sense of well-being and your sense of, like, I don't know, maybe community. Like, for some of you, it's people in your community that are showing up for you in some way. I feel like the energies coming in are challenging, and you're going to need, again, some level of perseverance and fortitude to get through some of these energies. You're going to need to speak your truth and do maybe some self-advocating. You're going to need to work harder than probably you're expecting to work in the month of September. I say that, and of course, then I pull the Page of Cups, which to me is rest and taking a rest and making sure, like, some of you do need to make sure, like with Virgo can overdo it. Virgo can work 80 to 100 hours a week. and not even like flinch. The Virgo male, the Virgo female, like these are the laborers. These are the people in the world that get things done. So like you might, but we have the lunar eclipse in Pisces. So you might kind of go back and forth between working your tail off. Like, this is for everybody. This is for all signs. So like you could be working your tail off and then be like, okay, I really need to take a rest now. Like you might fall asleep and get some sleep. You might decide, okay, I really need to go take a mini beach vacation, or I need to go get away. For some of you, it's interesting. I'm seeing people in the UK might like pop to like go to an island someplace tropical. So maybe it's Caribbean. People in the UK like might want to, do something where they do a little bit more traveling. I don't know why it's specific to the UK. It could be anybody in the US also, anybody in the world. I read for everybody. But these are the places that I'm seeing. I just feel like someone that's watching is going to take some time off. Okay. Doesn't necessarily mean like it comes on the heels of like working 100 hours a week. Okay. Or comes on the heels of like really working your tail off and just needing a break. And I feel like some of you, you're going to be doing that. Absolutely going to be doing that. I'm trying to think like what's coming up in the charms that's positive, that's going to be helpful. I feel like we have the number 4 coming through. The color blue is coming through. When I think of Virgo, I think of the color blue. I've always seen the sign as being very blue. I don't know why. To me, the 444, like that might be significant for you, but I feel like is actually a very positive financial manifesting number. Every time I see 444, somehow, some way, some money comes through. So, as far as September being financially a good month, I feel like most of you might be very surprised at how you do financially in September. But I also feel like your life, your circumstances, your stability, your, I don't know, just like maybe overall sense of like where things are going is going to change. We have the dime here, and that's things changing on a dime. So it's positive in the sense that like, and I'm reporting here in the sense that like, you're not expecting to, I don't know, go through maybe a transformation. Also, the energy of transformation, I always say, usually indicates a move, a relationship change, a housing change, a job change. It's usually 2. So usually it'll be like a new job and a move. So for some of you, it's a new job and a move. For some of you, it's a new relationship and a new job. And like maybe you moving in together. For some of you, it's like you're not going to change your job, but I feel like you're going to end up maybe changing a relationship or move in together or like have some kind of change within a relationship. So you might end a relationship in September and start a new one. I feel like that's, because we have the 3 of Swords here. So for some of you, this is an ending of a relationship or a partnership. There's some noise outside, which is like really confirming this. The energy of spinning your wheels, the energy of spinning. Some of you might do bicycling during this period of time, but I also feel like the energy of spinning your wheels, maybe like your adrenaline or just the energy of Virgo can be very, it can get overwhelmed. It's a very mental sign. And so like all of the energy is in the head and there's a lot of worries that Virgo can have. And I feel like for a lot of people during this time, the grounded energy, like I said, getting grounded is what you're going to need. Peaceful energy, slowing down, making sure you are taking alone time, making sure that you're turning off the noise, making sure you're like loading up on some books that get you into kind of like a tunnel. I think I told people in my other video, I'm obsessed with Louis L'Amour right now. Like it did something for my brain. I can't even explain it. Like I read this book that I got and I just was like, oh my God, like I need to read more of this. This is helping me to sort of check out. It's almost like a drug where you check out. When you read his books, I don't know. So some of you need to load up with some books. You need to kind of sit on the couch or in bed and do nothing for, at least a couple of hours a week, and let your brain calm down. For some of you, it's calming down. And there's a strong Piscean energy here as well. And the Piscean energy, I don't feel like it's spinning so much, but it is moving in multiple directions. It's sort of moving in multiple directions. So some of you might really be multitasking or moving in multiple directions at once. You might have goals that are at odds with each other. You might be at cross purposes with yourself as well. So you need to really try your best to, I don't know, make a beeline, kind of walk more in a straight line, or check the boxes and get things done, and look at September from the perspective of, okay, I'm going to give myself grace to kind of be a little bit of a squiggly, but at the same time, I'm going to go in a straight line and I'm going to complete these tasks and I'm going to get things done. I think that's going to be the most helpful. For some of you, your burdens are too great. There's too much stress. This is all about stress reduction in September. Maybe your finances, there's a burden. Maybe the people in your life, there's a burden. There's some element of burden here where maybe you've taken on too much. Maybe you're maxing out your days. Maybe you're maxing out your sleep. Maybe maxing out, what you give to other people. I don't know where the maxing out is going to be, but some of you really need to delegate what you're doing and pick and choose. Okay, be like, I can't get everything done, so I've got to pull back, is what I see. I think I'm gonna leave off here. Thank you guys so much for being amazing fans and followers. Definitely check back. I don't feel like this energy is forever, and I feel like many of you are going to be very pleasantly surprised by how things go, especially as we get towards the end of September. If you can, please like this video. If you're new, please subscribe. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Bye, guys.